All right, it's worth a try. Get them to show themselves. Then we know how they intend to use the women. But we hold our fire.
And if they don't?
Well, then we got no alternative. But only if they separate themselves from the hostages.
What are they up to? Wayne, they're up to something, mate.
Calm down, will you?
Oh, go to hell.
Come out.
We'll come out when you hand over the car.
No deal.
Give us what we want or the ladies get it.
You show yourself, then we'll talk.
Show yourself, mate.
Come out with your hands above your head.
Jeez, you think they'd come up with a better line than that, wouldn't you?
Listen, mate, it's your only chance. Otherwise, we shoot on sight.
You try it, you bastard! Go on, try it!
Don't!
Shut up!
Listen, you heard what he said. If we don't go out, it'll be a bloodbath.
So what?
We'll all be killed.
Not before we take one of those bastards with us.
Does that mean you don't agree with what Mrs. Davidson said?
It's all very well to talk about rehabilitation, but you've got to have the raw material to work with. None of these women are interested in improving themselves.
Well, yes, we were taught that a lot of prisoners return to jail time and time again.
What do you think you're doing? Stand to attention when an officer speaks to you. Rule 2A, paragraph 3. All prisoners must be accompanied by an officer at all times. And the punishment is? Loss of privileges for 48 hours. Now put that cigarette out. Pick it up. As well as loss of privileges, you'll be on garbage duty for the rest of the week. Now get back to work.
Wasn't that a bit harsh?
Harshness is the only thing these animals understand.
It is summer. John and Betty are going to the beach with their mother and father.
Fine, good work.
I'm finished. What's next?
Just a minute. Go through the next chapter by yourself. Now try and make sense of the words, but if you have any problems, then look at the pictures.
Sure, I'll be finished in no time.
Right, anybody else having any trouble? No? Good. Well, the exercise was how to deal with a difficult customer in a shop.
Well, I wrote this thing sort of like a play, you know, with real people in it and what they say.
Oh, that's an imaginative approach.
Yeah, well, there was this old lady called Mrs. Park, and she was in this shop, and she was having a go at the girl who owns the shop, and I called her Mrs. Burns. Well, anyway, this old bag, she has a go at Mrs. Burns, and she says to her that she's overcharged her, but she hasn't. And she has a go at her in front of all the other customers and calls her a thief and that. And Mrs. Burns had to be real tactful, you know, like they say, and at the same time she had to prove that she wasn't a thief.
That's great. No, you've not only defined the main problems, you've made it interesting. It's very good.
Oh, do you want me to read it out to the class?
I'm not so sure, Doreen.
What do you mean?
Well, if you get any better at this course, you'll be doing me out of a job.
Bastards. They're bastards.
We've got to stall him. Any minute now.
I know.
Why don't you phone a TV station and tell them what you want?
That's not a bad idea.
And there was this other siege, and the bandits claimed they were being victimised by the police, and all the viewers phoned the channel and said they should be given what they wanted to avoid bloodshed. It's worth a go.
OK. Phone.
Oh, try Channel 8. The number's 119-4863. I know the number off by heart. Isn't that awful? I'm calling that afternoon show all the time. He's a lovely young man. Oh, mention the name of my shop, won't you?
Newsroom? They put me through. Now get this. We done the payroll job, right? We want 100 grand in unmarked bills, a getaway car and some dye remover. Otherwise the screw in the old duck gets it.
He didn't mean that. He's only bluffing.
I heard that. Well, maybe the Wayne is bluffing, but I'm not. Got it?
Oh, OK, girls. Whew, smoko. How's your head?
Like I told Georgie, take more than a bump on the head to stop me.
Yeah, look, I'm really sorry about all that. Just got out of hand, that's all.
Hey, look, I thought we decided to let bygones be bygones.
Okay, as long as you're all right. Still on medication?
Yeah, but since when did anyone ever die of concussion?
Well, I thought you might have tried to escape when you were in that hospital.
Well, the guard never do, hardly.
Get back to work.
Smoke, Vera. What have we here?
Yes, who is your new chum?
Don't be insolent, Bryant.
Sorry.
This is Miss Dean, a trainee officer.
Well, how do you do, Miss Dean? I'm B. Smith. Queen Bee. But then I suppose Vera's already told you that.
That's enough, Smith. Another word out of you.
I know, and you'll slap me in the pound so fast. Have a heart, Vera. I've just come out of hospital. I'm not a well woman.
Then get back to work.
Like I said, it's Smoko. Have to learn the rules around here, like who calls the shots, for instance.
That's right. They don't call her Queen Bee for nothing.
I won't warn you again, Bryant.
All right, girls, back to work. You know, I knew the department was desperate, but I didn't know they were that desperate.
She wouldn't have a clue. She's like a scared rabbit.
She's officer material. I'm the governor.
Right, thanks. I'll let you know. Out.
What's going on?
They're getting expensive. They're 100 grand, unmarked notes, dye remover, and a getaway car.
Sounds like they're cracking to me. What are we going to do?
Well, like I said, we wait. Our main concern is the hostages.
You want me to talk to them?
Yeah. But don't push them too hard.
Are you listening, Brazza?
No! No, you know what we want. You give!
You release the hostages, then we'll talk.
For crying out loud, will you do what he says?
No way!
Release the hostages!
Go to hell!
Well, what do you think of the place?
Oh, it's very different from Pentridge. That's where I did my course. Oh, I'm not being critical, though.
Have you met any of the women yet?
Yes, some of them.
Sorry to disturb your lunch. I just wanted to remind you of the classification meeting this afternoon. I hope you'll sit in on it, Sally. It will give you some idea how Wentworth operates.
Oh, of course, Mrs. Davidson.
The next shift starts in half an hour. You'll find me in reception.
Why did you enroll in the course? Is there something that you've wanted to do for a long time?
Oh, not exactly. I guess I just fell into it.
What's that supposed to mean?
Oh, well, I had a series of dead-end jobs and I was unemployed for a couple of months and then I just read an advertisement for prison officers. And here I am.
Yes, well, I suppose if you don't like it, you can always leave.
Did I say something wrong?
Jim's a career officer. He thinks you should have a vocation for the job rather than taking it on as a last resort.
Oh.
Besides, they're all quite worried about Meg Morris. Apparently, it's quite serious.
Oh, yes, I know, but... Oh, that's not what I meant. I mean, given half a chance, I could make a really good officer and make a very real contribution, you know?
I'm sure you will.
It's just that Mrs. Davidson says one thing and then Miss Bennett says...
Said that the prisoners were animals and should be treated as such.
Well, yes.
Well, that's just one point of view. I see them as... Well, they're just like us, except they're caught on the wrong side of the law.
It's a big difference.
Not really. They've got exactly the same needs as us, to be cared about, to be respected. And I believe it's our job to make sure that happens. So stay with it.
Nothing.
I reckon they'll be giving regular reports on the siege.
Maybe there's nothing new.
Yeah, well, no news is good news.
Yeah, well, maybe, but if they're going to throw the towel in, I reckon they would have done it by now.
I wonder how much longer they can hold out.
When's the next news?
Can't you read or anything?
Oh, well, then cut it out, can't you see? She's only trying to get you going. Oh, come on, girls, back to the sweatshop.
When are you two going to bury the hatchet?
She's a dumb bum. Why should I?
The end result was a riot in the dining room. Smith and Bryant appeared to be the main protagonists.
They seemed pretty friendly when I saw them before.
That doesn't mean the feud's over.
Maybe not, but I must admit things are a lot quieter now.
Still, it's important to keep an eye on them, just in case they haven't settled their differences.
Well, it's Georgie and Doreen who are the problem. They seem to have a private war going on.
What do you think is the cause?
Well, my guess is that Doreen's found someone that she can feel superior to. Unfortunately, she can't resist rubbing Georgie's face in it.
In that case, I'd ask you all to keep a close watch on them when they're together.
We've got more than enough to do without playing nursemaid to those two 24 hours a day.
It won't be for long, I assure you. Baxter should be paroled in 2 weeks' time.
And that's ridiculous. She's violent and intractable. She shouldn't even be considered.
Look, I agree Georgie got off to a bad start, but she's made incredible progress in her desire to improve herself.
She can barely read, let alone write.